Did you know that before 10,000 years ago, people didn't farm their food? They hunted animals and gathered fruit and vegetables in the wild. We call these people hunter-gatherers. They lived a nomadic lifestyle, which means they moved from place to place following the herds of animals and the seasons of the year. For example, imagine you are a member of a small group of hunter-gatherers. Your group lives in what is now Turkey, and it's been spring. You and the others have been eating berries and nuts and hunting wild animals for months. Soon the weather will start to get colder and the animals will move to warmer places. It's time for your group to go west towards the mountains where the climate is warmer in the winter. This journey might take several days. You walk all day long with your family. Some carry spears and bows and arrows. Others carry baskets to collect food and knives to butcher animals. The children play and learn how to hunt along the way. It can be dangerous to travel. Sometimes your group fights other groups for food and water. Sometimes your group is attacked by animals that want to eat you. When you arrive at your winter home, it's time to build a new camp. The men kill animals to eat and make warm coats. The women use sticks and stones to pound plants into flour. They also dig holes to plant the seeds that they've collected and dried during the summer. After everyone has worked hard, you all sit down to eat. There isn't much meat left because it's winter and there aren't many animals to hunt. But there's lots of bread and stew made from plants. You eat until you are full, and the children ask for more. After the meal, you feel tired and go to sleep. It's hard work to find food all the time. Imagine you are a member of a small group of hunter-gatherers living near what is now Iraq. It's spring, and you and your group have been gathering fruit and nuts and hunting wild animals for months. Soon, the weather will start to get hotter, and the animals will move to cooler places. It's time for your group to go east towards the rivers where the climate is cooler in the summer. This journey might take several days. You walk all day long with your family. Some carry spears and bows and arrows. Others carry baskets to collect food and knives to butcher animals. The children play and learn how to hunt along the way. It can be dangerous to travel. Sometimes your group fights other groups for food and water. Sometimes your group is attacked by animals that want to eat you. When you arrive at your summer home, it's time to build a new camp. The men kill animals to eat and make warm coats. The women use sticks and stones to pound plants into flour. They also dig holes to plant the seeds that they've collected and dried during the winter. After everyone has worked hard, you all sit down to eat. There isn't much meat left because it's summer and there aren't many animals to hunt. But there's lots of bread and stew made from plants. You eat until you are full, and the children ask for more. After the meal, you feel tired and go to sleep. It's hard work to find food all the time. But it wasn't always easy being a hunter-gatherer. It was difficult to find enough food to eat. If you couldn't find food, you would become weak and sick and could die. Many different groups of hunter-gatherers experimented with growing some of the plants that they collected in the wild. By planting seeds and protecting them from wild animals, humans discovered that they could harvest more food than nature provided on its own. Humans also learned to domesticate animals. Domestication is the process of taming wild animals so that they live with humans. Humans domesticated dogs first, followed by sheep, goats, pigs, cattle, and chickens. These domesticated animals gave humans more food to eat. Their milk, meat, and eggs were a good source of nutrition. Animals also helped humans by providing skins for clothing and blankets. Over time, people began to change from hunter-gatherers to farmers. People started raising crops and domesticating animals. They planted wheat, barley, peas, lentils, onions, and flax. They also raised sheep, goats, pigs, cattle, and chickens. The main benefit of farming was that humans could produce their own food. In addition, there was usually more food available than people knew what to do with. This was great, because now humans could store food for the future. Now they didn't have to worry about dying from starvation in the winter. Farming led to another major change in human history. Humans settled down in one place instead of moving around. They built villages and towns and eventually cities. Farming led to more changes. Because there were more people living closer together, people started spreading out tasks. Some people specialized in making tools, others in making pottery, and others in raising crops or domestic animals. They traded goods and services with each other. The Neolithic Revolution was a big deal, but it wasn't perfect. While people no longer had to worry about where their next meal would come from, they did have to worry about things like weeds and insects that ate their crops. And life on a farm is still hard work. Humans also noticed that life was much more dangerous after the Neolithic Revolution. Before, hunter-gatherers lived in small groups. This meant there weren't many people to fight. Also, most of the time there wasn't enough food for everyone. So if someone got sick, it wasn't a big deal because they were probably going to die anyway. Now, however, people lived in close groups, meaning it was easier to spread diseases from person to person. Because there was also plenty of food to eat, people who got sick could get really sick and sometimes even die. Life expectancy actually decreased after the Neolithic Revolution. Life expectancy is the average number of years that a person can expect to live. Farming also caused people to fight. In the past, people only fought other people for food and water. Now that people owned farms, they wanted more land to farm on. Sometimes whole villages would fight over land. War also became more common. Before the Neolithic Revolution, humans didn't have much to protect their small groups, so wars rarely happened. Now humans were living in larger groups and had weapons like swords and shields. This meant war became more common. Most importantly, farming led to social classes. Before farming, everyone was equal. Everyone had to work equally hard to find food and shelter. Now that some people were farmers and others were traders or potters, some people had more money and property than others. This led to a division between the rich and the poor. Farming changed the course of human history. Instead of worrying about where their next meal would come from, humans could plan for the future. They could build houses and cities, specialize in certain jobs, and invent new technologies. Farming led to many changes, some good and some bad. It's hard to say if farming was ultimately good or bad for humans. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, let's go check out those answers. Why did the Neolithic Revolution begin in Mesopotamia? The Neolithic Revolution began in Mesopotamia because people there noticed that the plants that they were gathering in the wild were naturally producing seeds that were bigger and tastier. Humans started planting these seeds and eventually realized that they could grow their own food. What was life like for early farmers? Early farmers lived in small villages and grew their own food and raised their own animals. They also made their own tools and other useful items. Farmers had to work hard to take care of their crops and animals. They also had to defend their crops from wild animals. Farming was dangerous work, but it was worth it because people no longer had to worry about where their next meal would come from. How did the Neolithic Revolution affect humans? The Neolithic Revolution changed human history forever. Farming led to the development of villages and cities, new jobs, and an increase in population. However, farming also led to inequality, war, and new diseases. Still, overall, the Neolithic Revolution was a positive event for humans because it led to many important inventions and cultural achievements. What were the benefits of the Neolithic Revolution? The Neolithic Revolution was a time of great change for humans. Farming led to many benefits, including an increase in food production, the development of villages and cities, new jobs, and technological advances. The Neolithic Revolution also led to the development of new social structures, including the family unit and the concept of private ownership. What were the negative effects of the Neolithic Revolution? The Neolithic Revolution had some negative effects as well, as farming led to the development of social classes and inequality, as well as increased warfare and disease. The Neolithic Revolution also led to the exploitation of both humans and animals. Humans were often forced to work long hours in dangerous conditions, and animals were domesticated and used for labor or food. Overall, though, the benefits of the Neolithic Revolution outweighed the negatives. It was a time of great change and progress for humans, and it set the stage for the development of modern civilization. Do you want to keep learning about ancient history? Click here to watch one of these videos. See you next time.